Hi guys, welcome back on this channel. This is the Sweet Student International, and then we are here today to discuss a very vital point. So for those of you that are just watching us for the very first time, my name still remains the same. My name is Abiono Olorunwa, and then some people prefer to call me GD Dominion. That's my name. Right now, I don't want to waste time. I would love my guests to introduce themselves. I have amazing guests here today. I have students. They are all students. But do you know what? There are students and then there are students in students. You understand? There are students in politics. There are students in tech. You understand? Students making money, not just students. You understand? So now I want them to introduce themselves one after the other. So
Alright, hi everyone. So my name is Tao Samuel from Lagos State University of Education.
to the next guest.
Good day. My name is Omolola Abdiariji from Lagos State University.
Alright, good day everyone. My name is Unlimited Admin from Lagos State University of Education. Thank you.
Alright, if you can see very well, you can see how the voices seriously, like they are not shouting. That is telling you that we don't just all students. Are you getting me? We don't just all students. These are students that know what they are doing, students that are very serious, that you can learn from. Are you getting me? We are here for you every time. So we don't want to waste our time. We'll be moving directly to the question of today. As you know that here we use question to solve problem, because I'm very sure some of us, we have a lot of questions to ask, but we don't know who to meet. Many of us, we have problem that we are battling with, but we are so shy, we are so afraid. We are so afraid, we don't know who to discuss with. So here, we are giving you mentor. Are you getting me? We are giving you mentor without you asking for it. Are you getting me now? So we have elders in the house that is going to actually analyze what we are doing here today, and then we will bring their feedback to you. So I'm very sure you will enjoy their following us. So I'm going to the question of today, and the first question here today is actually fantastic, because I know that everyone here they are in university, and then this is not their first tertiary level of education. Are you getting me? They've actually been in NC. Now I want to ask them this question: what gives you morale? I mean, what boosts your energy to go back for your degree when there are professional courses you can just do? You know, we have professional courses out there, and then if you look at the economy today, it's not that smiling. People prefer professional course than just wasting time, you coming back to school and all of that. Many of us believe that school is a scam, but here are they are still here. They went back to school to study. So I want to ask them, what gives you the morale? What is behind that morale? What brings you back? So I would like to start from the person next to me, then others will contribute to the question.
Alright, thank you very much for the opportunity. I really do appreciate, and to every viewer, good to have you all here. Now let me start. In response to the question, pursuing a degree in particular, there are other professional courses thereabouts, but in particular degree, the way the Nigerian educational system is actually set up, not just the Nigerian educational system, the way things are actually set up in Nigeria is such that before you can do anything, or before you can, present yourself well or be well valuable and recognized, money aside, one other thing that you also need is just a certificate, and that certificate is degree. Not really because probably you're gonna get money from this, but there are certain things will attract you. There are some places it will take you to. There are some things you can't even do without it. Now, that alone, I remember sometimes when I want to apply for this, one of the questions that we ask, do you have a degree? Fine, you have the master, you are a master of that profession, but then you have the degree. One thing the degree also does is that it gives you the experience, aside the certificates, the knowledge around it. And this is such that our country, the system in this country is so much structured that you just need to have that degree. So that alone is one encouragement.
Yeah, I love that. So my sister, what do you have to add to this beautiful answer?
Alright, Mr. Samuel said so much. Personally, what gave me the morale for me to go back for my degree, just as he said, we're in a country where the education system must have certificates and you must have passed through a 4 corners of because that is that of a university to show that yes, the past few days, you know, having an online professional course without you doing practical something, when I say physical or it's no benefit. Not much benefit. Even people with their degree certificates, you still have to do this on the way to mean that yes, you are the one that has deserved it.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things. And personally, I love to be in campus. I love to be amongst I feel students. I love to have my lecturer at the front, going for professional courses online on the students, and I know have that vibes like that. So that's just it.
Okay, to the top speaker, what do you want to add to this?
Alright, it's my pleasure to be there.
Yeah.
More than first line. Let me first appreciate the streets, students, institution, and all the classroom. It's my pleasure. Alright, what actually triggered me for me to be kind of reaching to head to degree level? It's just that, you know, in Nigeria today, they are leveraged. Yes. So if talk Muslims or students, you know, we are into the system. Just like, you know, from NC now to degree, from degree to doctorate, they're going to master, from master to doctorate. It's not like that. So for you to be there, you have to have that first. Regardless of what you are in Ghana and all process of time. So this Nigeria, for you to be very relevant process in this Nigerian to the Southern degree. But that actually prompts me to do academic for me to be relevant. So sometimes you might have influence, but there's a place of relevance. Yes, and so we have people that do well and just finish their NC, but today there are some places that they cannot enter.
Yes.
You understand? So for us to balance the whole thing, for us to have every knowledge that's needed in the education system, you have to have that really important to
Yes. I think I also have some experience in that aspect because when I finished my NCE, I was working back. So I went to the bank and then they just because I already know someone there working there, so it was very easy for me to go in. You understand? So they hired me then, and then I started working with them. But the issue is that even there are some people there that what they are doing is not up to the tax they gave me. You understand? But if you look at their salary, just because of their results, just because of their certificates, they are earning more, and that is one of the things that trigger me coming back to school. So I think that's really
as part of my union capital when I finish, I say I've been able to meet some conferences and doing my NCBs. So although they give you the platform, okay, please after your this thing, please come up. Just but that time they didn't know that I was actually in NC. When I got that, you are in NC, you have to go back and
you see,
you understand?
Yeah.
That's actually good.
So that will lead me to the second question, and the second question just isn't even a question, it's just an advice. So what advice do you have for people that finish NCE with you, probably with you or people after you or people before you that are still at home that haven't go back to school? So what advice do you have for them? And then what advice do you have for whole level students that are outside there? They don't want to go to school, but they are looking for like professional courses. So what advice do you have for them?
Okay, thank you very much again for this opportunity. One thing I would mention is this. You see, when you talk about degree, I broke it down to this word. Degree means to degree, like you are going degree, you are digging deep. Are you getting this? So you could have studied probably NC in your secondary school, or you are very good, you study mathematics in your secondary school, or you study mathematics in during your NC. You know, you might go for your degree. What it actually tells is that you want to now dig that. You want to dig deep. Now you can always, go for professional courses. However, it is good when opportunities need preparation. This is not going to take anything away from you. It is just as though, fine, you might be good for professional courses, but then, I mentioned earlier on that the way Nigeria system is such that there's something we call, when you want to start applying for a job, there's what we call job specification. There are some offices you can't even enter, no matter the knowledge you have, no matter what the experience, they have a particular specification. And I can say, factually, about 70% of jobs in Nigeria are what you need degree for. So number one, criteria, you always say that you must have your BSc. Are you getting this now? Now, I know that most time there's no much emphasis on either first class, second class, or thereabouts. But there is always emphasis that before you even say anything with us, the first question is, they don't care if you are good or not. Do you have that BSc? Now, if you don't have, fine. The moment you don't have, you may be lucky, because sometimes you're like, oh, this person is doing this, he does not have a degree, he does not have that. Your own story may be different. Are you getting this now? So there is no helping yourself, preparing ahead, and still going for professional courses. So that's why.
Okay. So, is there any other advice that
This is basically no. I only advise the major mindset that most of these people have is that okay, since after the making money, going back to campus to apply.
Yes.
Number one thing, you expand your knowledge of yourself. Number one, from NC level. Number two, able to build capacity.
Yeah.
That can fit in the demanding outside here.
Yes.
Do you get it? So my only advice here is this: professional courses are so essential. They are so pivotal. So what they need to do now is just why heading to campus for their degree? They should have another opportunity of giving themselves those professional courses alongside. Yes, and that will make them a kind of employable or self-independent candidate.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we are moving to the next question now. So as you are following us, please, if you have any question or maybe you want to add to what we have said and all of that, you can just comment on the just put your write-up on the comment section. We'll be very happy to answer you. And then don't just look as if this student that you know, we are not the only one here. We actually have elders that answer questions. You understand? That answer your question, and then if you request for them, they are ready to come up here and do it, and then shed light to every darkness. So I'm going to the next question now, and then this is about the female gender on the campus. So this question has been seriously last 2 weeks. Me and my guys were discussing about some ladies that lecturers were actually sleeping with and all that. I don't even know that this thing is still happening in this country again. I don't know, because even if you're looking at my school, we are so decent, you won't know that all those things are happening. But last week we were discussing with some of my friends, and they are saying that they are giving me numbers of female students that they slept with and all of that. I was like, wow, Jesus Christ. So lecturers still do all these things. So I want us to discuss about that. And the question says, what can you say about ladies sleeping with their lecturers because of their results or because of pleasure? Because based on what we discussed last week, I was told that there are some ladies that they don't even like students like themselves, like to just be friends with them and all of that. They don't like students, but they like lecturers and all of that. So what do you think? What do you think about this? And I'm directing the question to Dan Liga. So what do you think about this? Like, why are ladies doing all these things? Does it really necessary because of our results or because of pleasure?
Right. That's a good one. That's a good question. And this question is a major issue that most of our students are going to get diagnosed because of issue of they want to get not to regulation. But when you see the fair mark, number one, that person has missed lethality.
Yeah.
To get that person has missed lethality. Do you actually know why on campus? That's the first question you're going to ask. those things? Do you actually want why you are campus? And at the same time, do you intend to use your certificate? Because we are in Nigeria now where you need to have that quality. If you are not a child to Timothy, or you're not a child to any function,
it's very difficult
for you to leverage this Nigeria, for you to navigate life through this Nigeria, you have to have that quality in you. So for all the ladies going after lecturer, I'm so sorry to say, there's a lot of issue appearing there.
That they don't know, that they haven't seen.
Because at the long run, you're not be able to be independent. You're not be able to defend your certificate. So why is now the essence of you coming to campus because of certificates? Because where you know that okay, I cannot come out and defend this certificate. So one of the major issues they have is they miss out. Okay, let me just come to campus. Some of them they don't have goal. It says goal. That okay, let me just come. I think this is my friend that says let me just feel like let me just come. But I'm not gone. They are heading for this. That's it. They are heading for this. My advice for them now be just that please they need to get high self-discipline. That's one of the things. So that some of them, although these things, all these things happened, okay, then just say it started from their home.
Yes.
And this kind of nice stuff. And yes, and at the same time, parenting to actually play a vital role in this process. For me, for my own family, I've been engaging on how to be self-independent, on how to work from home. Yes, on how to work and get the best results. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So the parenting aspect is part of it. But at the same time, you personally, as an individual, you need to have that self-discipline, the commitment, regardless of my knowledge, regardless of my big capacity, I need to make something happen. There's something I know, commitments is a lot. When you know that, okay, this particular thing, I need to prioritize, I need to plan ahead, the things I need to do so that I can get. To me, campus like or academic shop, it's not that difficult. If you know how to plan ahead of the time, if you know how to prioritize what is the time to socialize and everything, just use it. Sometimes, but even if the lecturer wants to want to sleep because of people I was sleep. You can go and take that lecture, please. I know what I'm doing. I can sit for this and get the best
what I want.
Yes. So please, they need to be very committed. The dedication needs to be there. And that's
what you say. It's so painful that most ladies and I won't say it, most people do not want to say this. What do you know about yourself? Because you cannot place value on yourself if you don't know yourself. And if you don't know yourself, you will not know why you're going to study. So people, a lot of them are just because my friends, my parents are going to school. I also want to go to school. You get there. That is why when you get there, you'll not be able to even defend your 6 for exam, you start fighting for you. You start wishing away and finding out you need to your child to sleep with them. And you said also not for results, but also for pleasure. If you know yourself, you know what you can, you know what you can, discover yourself. You find it hard to want to just throw your parents around you.
Okay, I would just love to add this. I think the last best graduate student from Lagos State University happened to be a female, alright? And then when I was trying to make my research, I discovered that she's someone who did a lot of hard work in this. Sometimes just remember the end point of what you want to do and check those who have done it and where they are, what they are doing. So you never see anyone, just think of any notable female that is actually doing all of this. So, by the end, there will be a result, but the result will be that positive or negative. One question I always ask you to ask yourself, imagine you have a child. Can you ask your child to also ask what you are doing? So what advice do you give to your child one day when you later have a child? Alright, so I would just encourage females who are engaged in this should please try as much as possible to be self-discipline like you guys mentioned and just understand yourself and your situation.
Alright, that's fantastic. And then I want to beg our lecturers, please, some ladies, do you know that some are so innocent? They don't know anything. They are just teenagers.
Yeah.
And then we are 14, 15, 16 years old in our institution these days.
Yes.
So and then they are just innocent. They don't know what they are doing. They don't know their right from their left. So you just take advantage of them like that. Is very bad. We are begging you that you stop this act. So we are begging you, please. Let us clean this. And then if you are a student and then you are in this mess, you don't know how to save yourself, please, you can contact the number on your screen and then we will help you out. We are willing to do that for you. Just try us and then you will see what we can do. And to the next question, I'll be asking my sister this question. The question says, okay, I believe that before tertiary education, you should have discovered yourself. So, in your own case, when did you discover yourself? And how do you discover yourself? And what can you say about the will and purpose of God for you? You know, I think before you come to school, before you are in tertiary education, before you enroll, so you should have discovered yourself, because at that place, that 4 or 5 years, if you mess up with it, you are finished. It will be very hard for you to amend your mistake in the future. So how do you discover yourself, or are you still along the road now? Maybe you are still discovering yourself. We want to know, we are students, so we want to know, how do you discover yourself?
It's a clear one question.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we keep discovering new things about ourselves.
Yeah.
When you get to one level, you learn how I did this. You came down. Alright, for the first question is things perhaps I should have discovered yourself professionally.
Yes.
Well, I just know I could do some certain things. I just saw some uniqueness about myself. I did not pin it to you that this is my purpose, this is something I'm used to impact lives out there. Let me just say, I saw those things and I just took them as something I just love doing. So I think that is where the question you asked me, Darren. That's where it comes. That's where the question comes in. I've forgotten the question you asked him about going to school, the essence of going for your degree, going back to school. Because I think when I got into school, I got squeezed when I was in NCA. There were positions I was getting in departments and even in fellowship that I had to force that thing out.
That's good for you.
I had to force that thing out because it was there in big, it was just being dormant. I saw some things like that, from childhood. I saw it was just like it was, how would I meet it? A light shining, but I have not seen the essence of it. I have not brought it out. So I knew that I could do some certain things that others might be finding out to do. They might be able to do it, but not as effective as I could do it. So it was along the line. I was not privileged to discover myself with tertiary education. Just as I said, it was dormant. It was just there. I was just regularly going about and the rest of it. So when I was given position in school, and thanks to some lecturers as well, came out actually. And you said, what can I say about the will and purpose of God for my life? I thank God for God. I thank God for Him in my life. That was what I said. Along the line, working with Him, being steady with God. When you find something about you and you utilize it, and know that thing about you greater than that, you will not. You understand me? So God has been helping me. I've been working with Him, and all the while I've been working with Him, I discovered myself. It's one thing for you to know something, and it's for you to, and that is for you to utilize it.
Yes.
So by His strength, thank God for the Holy Spirit, I've been utilizing it, because when I got to school then, I was not supposed to go. So I was actually, I discovered something about it, but I was using it wrongly. I was actually using it wrongly. So having to understand the place of God in my life, having to understand that my life is no longer my own, having to understand that I'm alive not because I just want to be alive, but to influence people out there to impact. Like that means my skill, my talent, my gift is to be used for people. I have to serve people with it. It's not meant to be there, just like the 10 talents in the earth. So having God in my life, I understand the place of purpose, understanding the reason for my existence. Thank God for that too. I've seen, it's a thing for you to discover yourself outside. You can discover yourself outside God. And you can use it the wrong way. So it's just a pleasing thing. I thank God for that. I knew God to discover myself and then I learned it.
Okay, before my other speakers talk, I would like to add something to that. Do you know parents actually have a lot to do in that aspect?
I was going to that.
Yes, that's one of the things that our parents should have done before sending their children to school. If they haven't done that, you are just putting it like you are pushing them to the devil. That's just it. A child that you haven't trained well, that haven't discovered, they don't even know A from B. They don't know the right from the left, and you are pushing them out. You want them to stay alone all by themselves. It is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. We need to help our children to discover themselves before going out. Seriously, that is one of the things that I battle in my life. There was nobody around me like to just encourage. I was all by myself, thinking everything is all by myself. And for me to be here today is just the grace of God. So parenting in this aspect is very, very crucial. So if you are a parent and you are out there listening to this, please help your children. Help them to discover, if not all, but there are some things that you would have been seeing in them that they are doing. Okay, these are the things I'm seeing. Okay, these are in the church, in the mosque, wherever they are. Okay, what are they doing for God? What are they doing that I can actually point out to, and let them be aware of that thing. Let them work on it. Please, I just beg you, parents, you need to start working on these things. And stop pushing out your children to lions. There are lions out there. There are lions out there. So I will hand over to my speaker.
In addition, when you actually come into getting to understand himself, I think to understand himself, right?
Yes. Understanding yourself.
We should just understand that number one, this thing takes time. Personally, today, I think commitments helps you to, not really engagement, because sometimes mistaken engagements are commitments. So sometimes you can be engaged but not committed, alright? So the moment you're actually committed to something, you could be given one task, taking up challenges, through that process, you're like, oh, so I really can't do this. That's one personality that really works up for me. And you see, the moment you're always scared of, taking up a project, starting something, taking up the task, probably in class they ask you, oh, what will be the HUC, and you just feel timid, and probably no one is showing interest.
See, that year has not been easy. But the life after campus is no mismanagement.
Jesus Christ, it's not at all.
So that's why every student outside they need to plan for. It's now while on campus. You need to juggle all everything like the academics, building another skills that can bring money to your table. Yeah, it really matters. I think that's my advice for this just
okay. So
I think permitting to call that generation, like this song always, we are the choosing generation. So we are a lucky generation, sincerely. We are no matter what have been said thereabouts, we are one of the best generation, because talking about the best innovation, talking about the best initiative, talking about the best thing that have happened in centuries can be found in this generation. Talking about access, what in this generation actually enjoys is access to internet, access to this. We have virtually everything for it. That's why it's international. We are a choosing generation, alright. But then the challenge we now have is that our generation don't understand that we are choosing. We don't really understand that we're a special generation. We don't really understand that this generation is a serious generation, and there will always be a problem when the generation is comparing itself with other generations.
Yeah.
Alright. Compare yourself with maybe your 2, 3, 4 fathers in that. The way it was there is not actually the way it is now. So you must understand that this generation is a generation that thinks with brain. So if there's someone who you can't engage in intellectual you can't really engage your brain, and this is beyond academics actually. You are someone that you can't think smart, you are not creative, you are not innovative. It will be very difficult for you to try in this generation. Alright, only that in every generation there are always people who channel energy to positivity and negativity. One major thing in this generation that make us more different is the technology available.
Yes.
Alright, now, and that's what was mentioned, only that so many of young people now are now going to the negative aspects, which can be better.
Parents are complaining.
That's why parents are complaining about that generation, they will tag that generation as the generation of Yahweh. However, it's the generation of technology. And in that technology, thank God is cited an example of someone in this generation who is doing well in that same thing that is really trending in that generation, which is technology. But then if you are not careful now, you will now do what? You drill to the negative. So one thing I would tell our generation is that our generation is a generation of technology, brilliant and wonderful ideas, all of these ideas can also be converted to negative. Try as much as possible not to go the negative part, but do what? Jar your life towards positive parts.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, Samola, you have anything for us?
I just feel that most of this Gen Z, in fact, they are very perfect generation, but they should not despise the use of social media. Some of them are trying to sideline that part. And for those complaining about the generation, it's looking for is just for them to know that we have to shift. It's a time for shift. We cannot always stay exactly. Even when Daniel was in the vision or saying a benchmark, also about the generation, where there will be different generations and the rest of it. When the time of, and let me look at the positive side of the generation. I've been hearing some people online that yes, the Gen Z, they are doing so much online. It's a part of being creative, utilizing and monetizing everything online. This professional course was talking about tech and the rest of it. Everybody now, tech is not even divided into different. We don't have anyone one form of tech again. So I think the generation is just okay, but nevertheless, just as I said, there should be a place to stay and community, and you have to communicate all the spice days of little beginning, and there should be news on discipline and still because that Yahoo else is if you use that your brain very to do Yahoo, if you use that go into some
Yahoo say they said it's why you use it for people
something you cannot bank on later in the future. So
seriously,
this of little beginning is very important.
Okay, so there is a question for you, Samola. There's a question for you, yes, and that talks about the question that Danica has answered earlier, or is it you? So the question says, what strategy do you think students facing molestation from lecturers can actually use? What do you think they can, that sometimes they are so timid, and then, okay, let's say first aid actions now. Actions that when those lecturers comes, what can they do? How can, I don't know why ladies mostly, why they are not talking? Seriously, maybe they are so afraid of the lecturers and all of that, they don't want to talk. So what do you think they can actually do, put in place? Like first actions they should put in place before even getting to people, before they will be caught in, like they'll be hooked in the act.
Okay, when we talk of molestation, it comes from different my own question I always ask, because when I was in NC, a friend of mine had this issue. The question is why is it that some particular things are being molested and some are not? I think I don't feel. Let me talk as a lady now. I don't feel having the fine figure shape is saying or the crime. It's genetic and it's a blessing, it's an endowment. So okay, we have different strategy, and it's not be advisable for you to just go about running mouth to your colleagues about lecturer.
Yes.
And I think that is why we have some panels, we have some aids and the rest of it. I feel you should find the right source. One strategy that I just feel you should do is find the right source that you should report such cases to. I don't know if I'm answering that question.
You have.
Find the right source to report. I think let me bring this case with my friend. When that issue happened, she reported to me, she told me about it because when she was looking around to meet any lecturer she could report to, she saw that those other lecturers were doing the same.
That's what I wanted to say.
Doing the same thing. So she was like, what would I do?
Yeah.
People who would know it. So you least expected to report to that happened. So she reported to me. And I think my auntie then was a part-time student. So she didn't serious about them. So she had connections to some certain people, even to the point of
Yeah.
So she had connections. So I really called my aunt and she went to the calls and the rest of it, and they really called to that particular lecturer. And ever since, if issues set aside in life, then you're always 50. So the thing is, find the right source, the right thing. It's so painful that in our system today, even the people you tend to rely on, they are also corrupting you, which is bad. So you find the right source, the girl, and someone that you see what she said, now listen to you, understand, because it's so painful. When I think there's another case of a lady being molested, and when she went to report, they say that the one that seduced the man is just so painful. So find the right source, someone that you know, we understand, and take it up from there.
Okay.
So I would love to add to this. If this is happening in university or in an academic setting, one thing I love, especially in Lagos State, not just Lagos State, virtually if not everywhere in the world, is that the educational system gives zero tolerance for this. Only if this does not get to the right ears. Now, I know sometimes you can also, one of the things why this all do this is because if I man was my lecturer, he is going to come back to me and I will bounce back to what she mentioned, getting to the right system. I think in every university there is always no particular people you can always go and meet. So maybe the counselors or probably
The thing is that we are afraid.
yes, I'm being stigmatized that if this. But I feel your deliverance, let me do what deliverance really matters. If not, if you keep hiding it, you keep going deep in it.
Yes.
Alright. There are a lot of should I say female movements now. That the moment they again that we have done this, like they will really take it up, and there are a lot of punishments in place for this. So your ability, we can't really be concise because anyone can be held from anywhere. And what is happening, what's happening at the last school. Now look at the structure around you. What structure do you think can really handle this well? And I will also encourage that if you are a female experiencing this, the best person to say is not to go and report to a male lecturer. Alright.
Yeah.
So report to a female lecturer that you feel that is not close to the person. So the person does not even cover road. I guess it's now. Or you look for maybe a platform and organization that can really pick it up. And probably we have mentors or people you can speak up to about things like she rightly mentioned. You may not have access to all these things, but then look for someone you can around you that you can talk to around you to just help you out.
Correct. Right. That's fantastic. So
I don't know. I said it's on point of view. I just time we dress
Yeah.
and sometimes most of these lecturers too. And so sometimes when students dress and when they invited them to their office, there's something kind of understand. So I would advise all the ladies to they should be dressing the same. Understand? It's not something that will just all this body marks, you understand? So they should just be very concerned about that. And at the same time, the reporting channel, in Lagos State, yes, the reporting channel, there's this phone number. You have found the business military. Okay, so
put that on the screen.
Yes. So there's this Lagos State government. There's an agency for that sexual and gender-based violence agency that's actually tackles any issue as that's gender-based violence. You get the thing that most of our students they believe that they don't need to start to lecture as years, understand, because of stigmatization and the fear to speak out. You understand? But one thing they need to speak out. But that thing will still continue, we don't say it out. You understand? To continue. So we don't think they need to speak out. They should report to their public channel. Yeah. You understand? So I think by with that can tackle that.
Okay. So my next question, we are going to be very fast now. So to my next question, the question it goes to Super Sound, and the question says, what inspired you to get involved in student leadership? Because I'm very sure you are in student leadership also, same thing with the legal and all of that. So I just want to know, and then let people know that it's something that, leadership is like leading people like to do the right thing. And then all this thing that we are talking about since, there's somebody that needs to stand there that should be there for you. So, you have to get to someone before getting to another person, you understand? So, being a student, what inspired you to get involved in student leadership and then fellowship activities? Because I know that you are also a president in your fellowship. So, what inspired you?
Let me start with that of leadership. Number one, personally as a person, I really do not. And that actually goes to purpose, virtue of yourself as an individual. Personally as a person, I'm not so much conducive when I can do something and around me and it's going, haywire and things are not really going well. I don't feel satisfied. So I am naturally moved. I get this now. So I can remember we were at 100 level there, I was in campus. And then there's some people came around and they were addressing us, helping us, you have to do your study, you have to do this. I felt like it didn't really caught my attention, like, wow, what are these people? And from there, I had to move close to one of them. So, Even the moment I got close to one of them, he was even telling me that, oh, he's going for the student president. Though, and this person, one person I respected so much. And I'm like, wow, how possible? And I knew it to be, whenever I teach your tutorial, it teaches us well and all of that. So, that actually did a drop in my heart. Alright. And from there I had to, follow him up and discover that he's actually doing well. So that also, she helped me to start doing something. Then secondly, again, I think that if the right people are not there, the wrong people will surely occupy the position. Alright. So ensuring that the right people are in the right system. When it comes to leadership for me, I believe that anybody can be a leader, but not everybody should be a leader. Alright, so when the right people are actually there, and that's one major thing that really engage me. When you have something in you that you can give out, you have ideas, you have brain. So it's not just about everything staying in you. Many people, they have ideas. So why not do it like this? Why you not go there? Why are you complaining? So you know that you have this capacity, you have this ability, you have this agility. Don't complain about it. Do it. Don't just say something and say that, hey, what she say, hey, what she say. If you know that you can do it better, and sincerely, we have so much, we have a lot of people who have this leadership ability, who have this leadership characteristics, who have this thing, and they can't. And then when it now comes to the issue of fellowship, like what you mentioned, there is always a source everyone come from. I am just a normal person who is just doing my thing. I understand the fact that there is no how I can factor how to coach in my work. Either I find myself in this, I find myself in that. That God factor is still very much important. Alright, and then let me just, no matter anything I know, look for a way to still integrate God back into it. That makes it perfect, that makes it balanced, such that spiritually everything. Because even when you join to leadership position, you still need some certain things, to back yourself up. Imagine maybe you was contest for position, and that's it at home. Oh yeah, we must do this, something that does not go with your religious virtue, does not go with your religious belief, it doesn't really go with you, and you are not careful, it will make you stagger. So you also need to put yourself, you must be strong. Yes, you must be strong also. You know that I don't have any abilities I can know how people that sorry. So you don't have a choice. That's what take it, but God that's good. So that will help. Okay. There you go. What do you have?
Alright. This is a good question. Which I would like to put some into it. Actually, I've been kind of leadership. My major purpose is that is I want to make that post. Back then, based on what I said earlier, that's my potential.
Yes.
When I was back at it, so that I just like trying to create something to make sure that things are going right. If someone is facing a challenge, always how can we solve it? How can we get this to understand? So when I was back from campus as well, my under level at that time, I was actually helping people to look for stuff. Back in the years. So that time yes. That time it was that hostel, like looking out for hostel was a major issue back then. Students are just working in, there's no hostel. So how can I be of help to this student? That was when I was in under level. But that's I don't like when I'm somewhere like people are not comfortable in hostel and something like that. I actually like to solve it if it's within my capacity. So I just said, okay, let's go. But it was later I got like, okay, usually collect money for agents. That time I just mean okay, I must make sure that you get one thing by going to Swiss Navy. Even for those people that didn't have money that time, I was able to get one place for them to just sleeping, really just sporting that time. Understand? So that time, going to be like this. One go for one go for something now. You understand? So that's why I actually venture into leadership. My major aim of getting the leadership to make impact. And at the long run, I was able to know that okay, as I'm making impact, there's something in the top.
Yeah.
You are doing things physically, if you are not having a spiritual backbone, it's not. You understand? So that's why, as I was just a student outside there, as well, in everything that you're engaging with, you understand, spirituality is matters. It's the first thing that you
can't find that place.
It's not possible. Even there are some fights that are going to fight for spirituality.
Seriously,
you understand? And leadership, there are a lot of things, a lot of talent spiritually. I know what I'm saying. It has not been easy. Even the very phase we're heading to come out now, it has not been easy. I've had a lot of revelation, a lot of understand. So spirituality is one of that will keep you going. Make sure you are still relevant. Make sure you are still relevant. So
Okay. So our last question. Actually, we had a lot of questions, but I will love to ask this question before we round up for today. So, Sister Monola, the question is to you, and then every other person can actually add something to the question. Do you feel ready for life after school? Like we are all in 300 level except me. So now we are preparing, going out there and all of that. That's one of the challenges I faced, because when I was in 300 level during my NCE, then I started looking out for things that I can do. If I go out, what am I going to do? I don't want to be stranded. Okay, what am I going to do? What did I have in me? What can I use to get money? What can I use to get this and that? So I started thinking then, and thank God, but even though it was not easy, I see. So I just want to know, are you ready for life out there? So do you have what it takes, or you are still equipping yourself, or this platform today is just reminding you that these are the things I need to do, these are the things I need to seriously. So we just want to know, what is your own view about this question?
If I would answer that question, it's a yes or no question. I would say that goes with yes, I am ready. I'm ready. Because when I was ready, but the fact that I'm ready does not mean I will not be preparing myself.
Yes.
Don't stop. Mr. Sam was saying, that's what I said, and I still said it too. That will keep stopping myself. Every day. But looking at how far it is emotional. I remember when I got with I graduated as a student. When I was on stage in that and I was studying the new general secretary GSS. I felt sick because I started thinking emotionally. I was like, God, why? I was not expecting this teaching. I was expecting this. What is it about being in GSS? You say you want pen and paper, you write, you get other program, you do this and do that. I could not even face anybody. I'm not into the administrative unit at all. So what happened was, I never knew God was even using that to prepare me when it comes to, just as I said, I hate when there is disorganization. I'll fight it to bring it into perfection. That's not my person. So whenever I knew that was God was actually pointing and highlighting me on. So at first when I was doing that, I was always having issues with everybody. Because I was just, the way I was passing the rest was wrong. So I had to sit down and this is not how to do these things. So emotionally, I know I will come to you. I know I'm not feeling bad, but then I have to give excuses for others. I know I'll reach out to you. This is how I should be done. This is how I should be done. And looking at it mentally, it's not easy. Challenges of school and the rest of it. But then, money coming from home is not enough. So I have to jump here and there. Now the pressure, the stress of balancing, getting money, and then schooling at the same time. At some point I was overwhelmed, but thank God for the foundation I had in NCA. I couldn't just give up like that. I couldn't just think so. I had to find a way around balance, to find a job I've been doing. Because as a full-time student, it's not really advisable that you do a job, a 9 to 5 job when you're a full-time student. I always advise that you start up with a business or something, maybe a job that could be on the phone, generally dying from going for class and rest of it. Not one I'll take you away completely, except for the other case if you consider that you're a full-time student, then you're allowed to come and the rest of it. So I've been able by God's grace to build myself over time, emotionally, mentally, and coming professionally, I'm still learning. I still around the media, still learning. Thank God for professional person, because we are Nigerian now, we are BSc results, and everybody, as we say, everybody is coming out every year with these certificates. I must be honest that you have to top up with it to show that yes, we want it.
So yeah, telling that, what do you have for us on this question? Like, are you ready? Life out there, like, are you ready to face emotionally, educationally, all the stress outside there?
Alright, basically, leadership That's why they
Yes, that's the key.
you know, that's leadership. Because through leadership and ability to network, the right giving the right connection to the right people. Yes, so major, that's why I always tell students, please and please, don't center yourself, don't center your exploit around lecture, the focus of lecture. Wow, to get it. Isn't for you to build intentions outside that lecture of which are what is really helping you to understand. So majorly after leadership, I've been able to start some skills, empowerment for myself each time. So that one has been one after outside leadership. So through leadership, you know, I've been able to get to know right people. Do you get it? You know, today, let me just say that there are a lot of things I'm not made for my own pockets, of my family. Yes, people are paying for that. Do you get it? Leadership has helped me to meet a lot of companies which I'm able to meet their purpose and today. Yes, that was true leadership. The impact me. So that was like, okay, through the process of you making impact, there are some things that are coming touching.
Yes, that's it.
Do you get it? So today, even after campus, even there are some you can do it
Just get out.
from different brands. Do you get it? So even doing that leadership, one thing I want to just need to advise our people, even you can be in a leadership and be useless to people and be useless to yourself.
Yeah, we have to like that.
Yes. And one thing, when you are making impact as well, make sure you know yourself through the process. Understand? So I've been able to navigate like through that.
Always be wise.
Yeah, very wise. As I'm making impact, something should come in for me too, because after leadership, even students will even criticize you. Yes, our president. Yes, our president. Oh, I saw him writing on Kata. That means you are able to maximize that presidential post. You get it? Even for you to write on Kata after the presidency, it didn't make impact for the life of you and yourself. Do you get it?
Yes.
So leadership are ready to go to where I'm ready for this, for the task ahead that campus. You get it? So I'm employing every other student outside there. Please and please make sure you build capacity. Try to attend programs. Meet people, networking. I always say something, they said your level of your networking is your level of your network life. If you don't have the right connection, if you don't have the right networking, it's very, very hard for you to survive. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So while on campus, there's an avenue for that for you to build life around these things. Go to the right programs that are in alignment with your vision.
And you just go there for fun. Go there with targets.
See me, I always spend and sometimes sacrifice. Please, sometimes I will spend money to attend the benga. To collect.
And when you spend money, you won't just go there and be
because when I get there, I spend money. So I must actually find a connection. On Friday I was in the program. Yesterday I was in the program. You understand? That's how I'm getting on this connection. And online, and two, utilizing your internet. I believe I'm able to get some connection through the internet.
Some people don't know that.
So even through leadership, I'm president of social things. I can do this, I can do yes. During that process, please don't just fence demands for something from this people. What you can bring to the table, what you can offer them matters a lot. As a student, okay, if you are holding a post, I always tell the student, and they don't see it's not as the same as a normal student. Never. In terms of capacity building, how to organize people, how to deal with human organization, how to everything that place in all your gather experiences. You get it? So one of that's the little things. But as an HOC or a student leader on campus, use that post. Network, you use it right. So today, I've been doing a lot of things to that. Right. I'm thanking God for that. So students, make use of this. opportunities on campus, so you can leverage after campus. You can leverage on them after campus. So that's what I think.
So, alright, let me just say in conclusion, you know, sometimes your process determines your preparation, alright? The kind of process you are passing through, you know, and I would also love to add this. After the first question we started with, many NC students usually synonym of going for that, in as much as everything is going to end up becoming. I think I kind of, because of lack of mentorship, lack of knowledge, lack of, let me just say ignorance basically, it also affected me. 5 years after, I wasn't even doing my degree. I mean, NC. First year, second year, third year, there was more than I was actually, you know, doing this. I was more like a corporate of this, you know, after professional courses, I was doing professional courses actually. As a matter of fact, I know what I'm doing. I get to the point now. But it got to a point whereby there is now this resistance. I now discover that I don't have the right, what's it called? The right things needed. I don't have the right connection. I don't have the certificates. Because sometimes even when you have connection, you don't have certificates. It's limited. Sometimes when you have certificates, you have connection, but you don't have skill, you don't have leadership skill, how to approach, you can't communicate, you can't defend yourself, you don't have knowledge, you don't have experience. Alright, so these things I'm not like, oh wow, I think I need to go back to school now and now work on all this. Not really to just pursue a degree, it is just a part of it. Now, I now need to now start integrating. Yeah, let me connect with people, let me offer service, let me render and service. Alright, now through all this now, I'm now equipping myself, building myself, you know, virtually all the aspects. So if you should ask me that, am I really prepared? I think by now, at this point, I've actually made corrections to these mistakes. My eyes are now open because when it now comes to life after campus, I experienced it. I saw the limitations, I saw the mistakes. It was something I was like, oh God. It was more like a regret. But thank God for the messages, you know. I now have to come back, build myself, start all over again. So I'm just a good student. You know, if there are students here, you are thinking of not going for your degree, please go for it. I get my points now. If you need someone to convince you, even if you have your money, you need the money. It will open some doors for you. Use the money to even improve yourself. It's not going to cost you anything. There will now be a point in time whereby you can no longer go for it again. So go for your degree. And if you're a student also, get yourself prepared, get yourself engaged. Don't just be a normal and a regular student. All you do is to just leave, wake up, collect money from your parents and go for lectures. You are not sent to school to attend just lectures. You are sent to school to prepare yourself for life after campus, to navigate, to interact, to build yourself.